Welcome to my channel. I'm Victoria, and today I have for you this dramatic, sparkly New Year's Eve glam makeup tutorial. And for this look, I actually used the Lime Crime 2 palette. I knew I wanted to use this black sparkly shade for my New Year's look. It looks probably matte black in the pan, but it actually has flecks of purple, blue, and silver glitter. I actually wanted to use a different palette for all the rest of the shades for this eye look, but I figured it would be a lot more difficult to recreate this look if I bounced around and used different palettes. So I actually decided to just stick with it and use this palette for all the shadows, and I'm really happy I did because this yellow, orange, and like reddish brown shade actually create the most gorgeous, warm, smoky eye. I highly recommend this palette if you really are looking for that super orangey, just gorgeous smoky eye that you see a lot of people create, but yet you don't have anything in your collection that actually translates super warm and orange. Then I highly recommend this because it really screams orange, yellow, warm, smoky eye. It's gorgeous. This black shade that I'm using on the lid, it is a little bit difficult to work with because it is matte, so you can't spray your brush and then like dip into it and try to apply to the eye because it'll just make a mess and it won't stick to your eyelid. So you really just have to finesse it a little bit and really just stick with it and layer it up so you can really get this beautiful blue purple reflect. A thing I also have as a suggestion, if you really want it to pop more, you can use this similar shade in the Too Faced White Peach palette, and it's this one right up here, and it has also basically the same thing. It's just a tiny bit more blue, but it has the same like purple, pink, silver reflex, and so you can pop a little bit of that on top and it will really just bang, make it just be a ton more shiny and luminous. So I hope you all have an amazing New Year's. Thank you so much for watching this makeup tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
For today's eye look, we are using the Venus 2 palette from Lime Crime, and I'm just going to take that yellow shade on the palette right there called Mustard, which is a perfect description for it, and I'm going to blend this all throughout the crease from inner corner to outer corner and up towards the brow bone. I don't have any face makeup on yet because we're going to be working with black shadow, and that's just going to fall all over the place. So to avoid that mess, we're going to do our face makeup after. The only thing I have done right now is my eyebrows. So like I said, we're just going to take this yellow mustard shade and blend it all over the place. Then we are going to take this orange color called Jam, and we are going to basically put this everywhere we put the yellow shade. We're really going to focus on applying many layers because I really want this to be extremely pigmented and extremely orange. That's going to create like a beautiful gradient for when we add the black, and it's going to look almost like a sunset smoky eye, which is going to be really beautiful. And you can even choose not to use the blue, and you could wear this look anytime, and it will look a lot more natural without the blue sparkly. And then I'm taking the shade Mud, which is a very red toned brown, and I'm applying this a little bit lower than the yellow and orange shade. I applied several layers of this. To do these three colors, it took me 12 minutes exactly to apply them how I like them. And I actually switched to a smaller blending brush because this Mud shade has a little bit of trouble blending into the crease. The yellow and the orange blended super effortlessly, but the red I really had to work with a little bit. Then I'm taking the color Boot, and that is the black shade, which has the sparkles in it, but I'm taking it on a blending brush and I'm just applying it to the lid and in the crease, and no glitter is translating yet because it works like a matte shadow as long as you're using a brush. So if you're applying the shadow with a brush, it's going to apply very matte. You're not even really going to see any of the glitter. So I'm using this just to create a really black base to start the look. Then I pick up a ton of this product, the same Boot black color, with my finger, and I apply a ton of it to my eyelid, like really a lot. That's why you actually can see the glitter now. And you can only do this with your finger. Like I said, if you use a brush, you're not going to see any of this glitter. And I do have a tiny bit of eyeshadow primer on my finger, just the e.l.f. glitter glue. And I'm just applying tons of this just to really make that glitter pop. And then I'm going to wipe off all the fallout that we have. You really want to make sure you get any of that glitter off. Then I'm taking MAC Fix Plus to prime my skin and also to wet my eyes. You need to keep your eyes completely shut for this and then really fan your face for a good minute, because the glycerin in MAC Fix Plus is going to make your eyeshadow look wet. So this is going to make it heaps more sparkly, glittery, shiny. It's going to look almost like you have a gloss on your eyes, but you don't. And the best thing is your eyeshadow isn't going to crease, smudge, or move. It's just going to have the appearance of a gloss on top of it. So this is so great, and it has to be MAC Fix Plus to do this. You can't do it with any setting spray or any priming spray. It has to be MAC Fix Plus because of the glycerin in it. Then I'm taking the Cover FX Click Stick for foundation today, and I'm really applying a lot of this. I wanted a super full coverage glam look. Since it is a New Year's Eve look, I usually apply a little bit less of this product, and you really just want to pounce it into the skin. So you really are just stippling it, really just pressing into the skin. And then when you get to the edges, after you have it pressed in, you can then blend it out in a circular motion. Then I'm going to apply the Urban Decay Weightless Naked Skin Concealer, and I put a little bit of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer mixed into it because that one is a little too light for me, so the Wet n Wild one just darkened it a little bit. Then I just blended that out all throughout my under eye. I like to use a brush because it is a lot faster because I don't have to go wet a beauty blender. Then I'm baking my under eye with the Coty Airspun Extra Coverage Powder, so I'm applying quite a bit of this. Then I'm going to bronze my face with the Wet n Wild Face Powder. I've talked about this in the last 2 tutorials, I think. And so I'm just going to bronze up my entire forehead and also my cheekbones. If you apply several layers of this, it does get nice and dark. Then I'm using the e.l.f. blush palette, and I mixed the pink shade with the Melanie Brown shade and just applied a little bit of blush just to give a little warmth and glow to the face. Then I am wiping off all that powder we baked with. I only let my bake set for 2 minutes because that's how long it takes me to do my bronzer and blush. So wipe that all off and make sure you get all that extra powder off. You don't need to leave it for a super long time or your under eyes can get very dry and crepey looking. Then I took the color Mustard again from the Venus 2 palette, and I'm applying that on a fluffy brush all throughout the lower lash line. Then I'm going to add Jam, which is the orange shade, on top of it. You really want to make sure that you're meeting up your lower lash line with your upper lash line so there's no harsh gap in between the two. You really want to just mush them together and really focus on that outer corner so you have a really seamless blend. Then on a flat definer brush, I'm picking up some of that black shade called Boot. And like I said, it acts as a matte when you just use it on a brush. None of this glitter really translates. And then I blend it out with a blending brush. And I put a little bit of Mud, which is the reddy brown shade, on the tip of that brush as well to help the black really just blend out seamlessly and effortlessly, because black eyeshadow can be a little tricky to blend out because it does tend to stick and not want to diffuse out properly. Then for my highlight, I am taking MAC Nylon, and I am using this under my eyebrow as my brow bone highlight, and I'm also going to hit my inner corners with this shade. I wanted a super blinding white, blingy inner corner and brow bone highlight. Then I'm setting my face with MAC Fix Plus once again, which, as you can see, wets the eyeshadow again and makes it look just so gorgeous. And then I dry my face completely before opening my eyes all the way. If you open your eyes, you will destroy your eyeshadow. So please, 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 whatever you do, do not open those eyes until your face is completely dry. Then I just highlighted with the Makeup Revolution highlighter palette. Apply that to my cheekbones, and also I'm going to apply some to the bridge of my nose. And that is how the look looks without false lashes. I applied some mascara, but I just wanted to show you real quick. This is how it looks if you choose not to wear false eyelashes. You don't need to wear false eyelashes. I actually like how eyeshadow looks better in person without lashes, but on camera and for YouTube, if you don't wear false eyelashes, it does not look anywhere near as dramatic and your eyelashes basically look invisible. In person, I can see my eyelashes and I love the look, but on camera, I don't. And this is how it looks like with false eyelashes. As you can see, it's just a lot more dramatic and it just adds a lot of definition to the lash line. So it's just way more intense. I think both are equally as beautiful, so you can wear whichever one you want. So I hope you like this tutorial. Happy New Year's, and I will see you guys in the next one.